All right, guys, I do have a Monday editorial for you. We're going to Arizona for this one. By the way, this is what happens when you go to the lake on July 4th. A couple days later, you're taking a shower, you go to dry off, and you start peeling. So so then you got to wear one of these. So always have your SP 400 or whatever it is sunscreen to rub on your face. Suntan lotion does work, I guess. I did get some emails from some people. Those did not fall on deaf ears. I'm still going to get to those. I'm going through them. It's just been a busy weekend helping mom move, me and the wife spending time together and so forth, going to church. So I just didn't have time. This has been a very busy weekend. I'm going to start back on Monday this morning, but I do have something in Tempe, Arizona I wanted to get to really quick. There's another article another editorial if you go through DeKalb Detective in DeKalb, Georgia, who hit a pedestrian suspected of DUI on drugs. They don't know if it's prescription medicine or whatever. There are a lot of questions to that one. So if you see that one, that's why I didn't do that as an editorial. If someone ends up bringing it to my attention, I saw that one. There's just too many questions there. So I wanted to kind of back up on that one a little bit. If he was DUI on alcohol, it would have been a totally different story. But prescription meds, that's a touchy issue. That's, where do you go with that? I mean, maybe it was an act. I don't know. It's medicine is different. So, but I'm going to Tempe, Arizona with the Starbucks. I want to get your comments on this. I'm going to put a link to the story in the description box below, as well as two videos from ABC News and CBS News below. You can go and watch the videos, stories on that from the news. But I'm going to give you the editorial here. 6 police officers asked to leave Starbucks in Tempe, Arizona. I also want to get your comments in the comments section on what I say here this morning. Starbucks issued a public apology on Sunday after a group of police officers was asked by an employee to leave one of the company's Arizona stores following a customer complaint. Now, the 6 Tempe police officers were standing in the store after paying for their drinks because a customer did not feel safe. Due to the police presence, were asked by a barista to move out of the customer's line of sight or leave. The Tempe Police Officers Association said on Twitter. The officers chose to leave the store, it said. Now, the police association said, quote, "This treatment of public safety workers could not be more disheartening. While the barista was polite, making such a request at all was offensive. We know this is not a national policy at Starbucks corporate, and we look forward to working collaboratively with them on this important dialogue." There is a 4-part tweet here. They show parts 2 and 3 of 4, which say, and stood together having a cup of coffee before their long 4th of July shift. This was on 4th of July. They were approached by a barista who knew one of the officers by name because he is a regular at the location. I wonder if he's still going to be a regular. The barista said that a customer did not feel safe because of the police presence. The barista asked the officers to move out of the customer's line of sight or to leave. Disappointed, the officers did in fact leave. This treatment of public safety workers could not be more disheartening. While the barista was polite, making such a request. Now, they paid. Did they get their drinks? They paid for them, right? Maybe they were already drinking them. A backlash against the Seattle-based company on social media grew after this story began to spread. Things like hashtag dump Starbucks and hashtag boycott Starbucks. Now, in its apology, Starbucks called the incident completely unacceptable and said the company has a deep appreciation for officers serving in Tempe, Arizona. Roseanne Williams, Starbucks executive vice president, said in a statement on Sunday, when those officers entered the store and a customer raised a concern over their presence, they should have been welcomed and treated with dignity and the utmost respect by our partners, which is employees in parentheses. Instead, they were made to feel unwelcome and disrespected. Williams added that the company is taking the necessary steps to make sure a similar incident doesn't happen again, and that she would be in the Arizona City, Tempe, Sunday evening to meet with any members of the police association to address questions or concerns. That was last night, of course. Starbucks also came under intense scrutiny last year after 2 black men who waited for a friend at a Philadelphia Starbucks were arrested for trespassing after a manager called the police because they didn't make a purchase. The company apologized and reached a financial settlement with the men and closed 8,000 locations for half a day to hold racial bias training for its employees. And one of those locations was right here in Yucaipa. If you remember, I went out on the street and did a editorial with this mic right in front of that very Starbucks. You remember that? Out here on Hampton Road in Yucaipa. Now, I want to get your comments on this, but I don't know really how to feel about this, so to speak. I mean, I know there are people out there that watch my videos that just hate the police. I know you do. I know you're like, there ain't no good cops, man. But I don't know if I would have walked up and said, I would like these 6 officers to leave. I feel very unsafe right now. I don't know if I would have said that. We need more information here. Were they staring the person down? Were they looking at this person? Were they talking about this person? Were they about to approach this person? What was going on in this person's mind that they would say, I feel unsafe with those 6 cops here. They need to leave. What is this person a felon? Is this person on probation or parole? We need more information on this because I don't know if I would have asked them to leave. I don't know if I would have socialized with them. But I don't know if I would have asked them to leave. I mean, we talk about bridging the communication gap between the police officers and the public, police officers and their citizens and the residents they serve. But I am coming to learn that there's no way to bridge that gap completely with all law enforcement. There's just no way to do it. There are too many law enforcement officers out there who are bullies that have a badge and say, I can do what I want. I can, enforce any law I want, whether it's right or wrong. There are too many officers doing that there's no way to bridge that gap. They just do. I mean, what am I trying to say? There are officers that you can socialize with. I mean, because there are good people. Don't get me wrong. I know you might say, well, there are no good cops, but there are good people. There are cops that will walk up to you and go, "How you doing, man? What's going on? You out there just out of recording? Huh? All right." And they just want to talk to you. Talk to them. Be an adult. Be a mature adult. That's all I'm asking is that we try in this community of cop watchers and First Amendment auditors to be mature adults. Just talk to them. All right, how you doing? But I don't approach any more cops to talk to them. I don't try to socialize with them anymore because you don't know what you're going to get. I don't know what cop I'm going to get that day. I might get a bully. I might get somebody that all of a sudden doesn't like being recorded and he's going to say, what can I do to get this fucker off my back? And I might be 50 feet away or 100 feet away. Because when cops overstep their bounds, other cops aren't going to see that and go, well, yeah, he did. They're going to go, well, but when a cop asks you to do something, what if you're not breaking any laws or violating any laws or interfering or anything? He just doesn't want you there. And he's an officer and he's going to ask you to do something and you're going to do it. But what if you're a law-abiding citizen who's done nothing wrong? They say, well, make a complaint, come, video it and then bring it to their supervisor. That's it. So basically just take it up the ass and then come tell me about it. What? No. So I don't know that we're ever going to be able to bridge the communication gap between police officers and the public they serve. That's just not going to happen. But individually, I think there are officers out there that just want to talk to people. They like people. That's why they're cops. They like talking to people. They like interacting with people. Individually, I think we can bridge a gap with those communication gap with those officers, and I think we should. We should as mature adults, and we should because now we have somebody on the street that when we record a traffic stop, if that officer's on the scene, he's not going to say anything to us. He's going to go, "Oh, I know that guy. I don't have a problem with him," But kind of to tie that in and go back to Tempe, Arizona, what was going on in this person's mind that you have 6 cops in there just having coffee and he goes and asks them to leave? I feel unsafe. I want them out of here. What? I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? I know we're going to go on both directions with this. I want to know how you feel. And are you guys still going to go to Starbucks? I am because the wife truly loves Starbucks and I love their triple mocha. Yeah. Diabetes in a cup. News Now Yucaipa letting you know what's going on with law enforcement across your nation. I know I talked really fast, but I got a little bit of time and a whole lot of information. Have a happy Monday, guys. I'm going to have editorials for you all week, hopefully. Hopefully this heals quickly. Remember your sunscreen and remember, have a good week, even though it's Monday.